Phoenix Rising pregame show is brought to you by Reese's Dental and Braces.
Tonight's pregame is brought to you by Reese's Dental. From the desert in Phoenix, Arizona, Casino Arizona Field, the Banditos are out. The energy is buzzing as this Phoenix Rising side goes for its 20th consecutive win with ambitions to take down the rest of the USL records before them. But tonight, they take on an intriguing LA Galaxy 2 side, a young gun group who brings in a lot of confidence and a blueprint for success. As we take a look at the Western Conference standings, Devin Kerr, Phoenix Rising, clearing away the favorites to run away with this conference. The rest of the West, though, up for grabs.
As it seems to be each and every week in the Western Conference that is so wild, they're going to be 6-point swings all over the place. For Phoenix Rising, they're going to focus on the top two spots. Fresno and Reno on the road this week at Austin and at Vegas. The Reno game will be tomorrow. Phoenix Rising has basically hit the point where they are chasing ghosts of USL Championship pass. You take a look at what they've already been able to do. 19-game win streak going for 20 tonight. The points record, the wins record, that's in terms of clubs. Now, what can they go and get? They can reach the overall wins victory that FC Cincinnati set last year with 23. How about Reno in the amount of goals they put in the back of the net with that potent attack led by Dane Kelly? Some individual records that can be chased as well. Solomon Asante for goals. He needs 4 to tie Cameron Lancaster, 2 assists for him to tie Manu Ledesma. But first and foremost, they have a big job to do against Los Angeles Galaxy 2.
And the last time these two teams played, it was LA Galaxy 2 who got off to a 2-0 lead.
Remember, 15 minutes to go. There was all the concern in the world that this streak might finally come to an end. But of course, Solomon Asante and Junior Flemings doing what they do as assist makers coming on, finding the back of the net as well. And who was going to be the one to finish everything off? That would come in the form of Joey Calistri. Watch this half volley on the back post, down into the ground, away from the goalkeeper, back of the net, securing 3 points and keeping the win streak alive.
All eyes have been on this Phoenix Rising club for the last 2 months, but now the pressure has mounted to an all-time high as they take on Los Dos. Matt Schumacher, Devin Kerr from the desert. Lineups and kick next.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
atmosphere building tonight in Casino Arizona Field from Scottsdale, Arizona. Matt Schumacher, Devin Kerr with you. Tonight's game brought to you by Equality Health. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, and we begin first with Phoenix Rising.
Rick Schantz sticking to his guns of what he's done all season long. This will come in the tune of 8 changes. Nabuya back from international duty with Sierra Leone at right back position. Zach Lubin will be back in between the pipes. Amadou Dia and his 1-game sabbatical back on the left-hand side. Junior Fleming, Solomon Asante will join Adam John in the front 3 once again. And how about Peter Lee Vassell Jakey back in the midfield with Kevon Lambert. And of course, as we're getting that close, we'll love this one, Kevin Lambert. He'll have a fun lap of that later. Still dealing with that repetition from years past. How about Los Dos and Junior Gonzalez coming to town? Remember, these youngsters pushed them to the brink. 75 minutes, just couldn't finish it off. They'll stick in a 4-3-3. Really like Carlos Harvey, what he's been able to do in their midfield. Don Chilau on the right side, pushing forward with Augustine Williams. Augustine Williams, by the way, was the one who sealed the fate of Phoenix Rising back on October 13th, 4-2. That was the last home loss in 2018. That has been a stretch of 16 games.
Los Dos has given Phoenix Rising perhaps its greatest test amidst this 19-game win streak. They led 2-0 in their last meeting before falling 3-2. And we are underway from the desert on ESPN+. Delighted to have you with us. Phoenix, of course, the talk of professional soccer in the United States and starting to be globally, as they have taken down the former American Pro record set by LA Galaxy, oddly enough, back in 1998. But this LA Galaxy side has won 3 of its last 4, including back-to-back games. And although young and relatively unexperienced at the professional level, they come in with a fearless confidence, Devin Kerr, that, quite frankly, could have a lot of supporters scared tonight in Phoenix.
That tends to not waver in either direction, no matter who they're playing. If you take a look at what they've been able to do over their past 9 matches against playoff teams, they've gotten points in 6 out of the last 9, including 4 victories. Those 3 losses, Phoenix, and then 2 to Reno 1868. Only top 3 teams have been able to push them in another direction. 5-1-1 in their last 7. Phoenix the only loss.
Phoenix, of course, in the home dark uniforms. Los Dos in the all-white. And the uniform report brought to you by Alsco. Phoenix always packs the house, and the crowds have come out in droves over the course of this 19-game win streak. We highlighted the records that are ahead of them in terms of USL Championship records, both individually and on the team side. Many within their grasp, within their reach. And, you know, it's interesting. Sometimes you talk with clubs and with managers, and they don't want to talk a whole lot about records. But that was not the case with Phoenix Rising manager Rick Schantz. He said, we talk openly about the fact that we want to continue this win streak, that we want to take down the records. And now Phoenix Rising making a run. Galaxy pressing on. Shot just wide. Asante, he can do magical things anywhere around the 18.
I don't always see it in the form of his left foot, though. Well done by Kevin Lambert. My apologies, Kev. We are with the name, and that's a conversation that'll suit everybody quite well for the rest of the season. I think one of the more talking points coming out of that conversation with Rick was not just the fact that he was willing to address the records, but more importantly, the fact that no matter what's surrounding them, what this team has been able to do, this is still unfinished business. Everything in the back of their mind leads back to not only the inability to close things out in 2018, but what lies in the future. And they will take every single win. We've talked about how they don't want to lose another game. That's been a resounding message that's come out over the past few weeks. People can turn their head a little bit at that, but that's truly what they believe they are capable of. But most importantly, come playoff time, continuing to push themselves to another level and put a trophy up on that mantle.
We talked with Rick Schantz about the vibe of this group, and he said, you know, it's different now than it was when we were around win 9, win 10, win 11 in a row, where he felt like the team was playing a little bit not to lose, not to make that mistake. But he said now, as the win streak has increased and the players have gotten more comfortable with the pressure that has come with this streak, they're playing with the leashes off, he said. Here's a ball into the box, and the first test tonight of Zach Lubin right into the mids.
Got to wonder the communication right here as there's a quick little look by AJ Cochran and Cordy Whelan. Hilliard Arce left all alone to squeak inside the top of the 18 and counteract the point in a positive nature from before. Style points matter for them. And they want to make sure they're not just winning, they're doing it in impressive fashion. That's a conversation that's regularly asked of me, comparing this team to FC Cincinnati of 2018. I've made some references before, but it's night and day for me. That was very much an individualistic performances put out by FC Cincinnati. They set a bunch of records, but they usually did it in ways that were 1, 2, 3 guys taking over a game. There are times here where, yes, someone outside of the norm steps up, but quite regularly you're seeing all 11 on the field put forth a quality effort.
12 different players have tallied a goal over this 19-game win streak, and you know, that's something that is very similar between this club and Louisville City FC. The culture, the depth. Rick Schatz saying you can't just focus on 11 to make a deep run in this league. You have to be focused on all 18. You have to be able to trust all 18 players available to you on any given night.
Perfect representation is the lineup now. He made 5 or 6 changes coming into last game. He goes to 8 tonight, and he's always said it's real easy for us to just go ahead and start the same 11 that got the victory the week before, but we're not about that. The culture we've created here, every single time you step on the pitch, you are fighting for a spot, and that includes the training ground as well. These guys push each other each and every week. And especially now that you've reached the point where, yeah, you got to the final last year, you're starting to set records. They got a target on their back every time they're out.
Let's take a look at tonight's Mayo Clinic injury reports. And, you know, Phoenix Rising obviously would love to have John Baccaro back. And certainly he feels like he could probably get back by the time postseason comes around. The good news for Los Dos, nobody out with injury. This young club that has started to come together as the season has gone along. Ball into the middle looking for Asante. Then tagged back out. And that's something that Junior Gonzalez, who was hired in June, talked about with us. He said he feels like there's more cohesion with this group as the season has gone along, and you don't always get that with the USL Championship side, particularly one that focuses so heavily on getting guys ready for the MLS.
A bunch of these players are still unable to walk into a 21 or older establishment. Hey, I'll have an adult beverage. That's not the case. Got guys like Eric Lopez sitting in between the pipes, and some of the other youngsters running through. Carlos Harvey running your midfield, trying to spring this attack going forward. The youth does not bother them whatsoever. It's not something that you always see from a squad that tries to mimic what goes on with a team that they're affiliated with. Obviously, Los Angeles Galaxy and Solomon Asante getting pulled down in the corner. Well done by the refereeing crew to point that out.
Perhaps the most dangerous trio up front in the USL Championship, and maybe the most dangerous we've seen in the last couple of years with Asante and John and Junior Flemings. 3 guys who can pull the trigger at any time. It's Asante standing over it. But he won't take this kick. In swinging ball, back post, a foul in the box, and we have pointed to the spot. A penalty coming in the 8th minute. And a yellow card has been issued to Carlos Harvey. My goodness, what a turn of events early here in Phoenix.
Carlos Harvey, the Panamanian who's recently been able to cap for his national team, doing battle on this ball being whipped in. Difficult to tell from that angle as he and Corey Whelan get tangled up in the middle of the box. Carlos Harvey arms up in disgust that the referee has pointed to the spot here. Now a conversation Just going forward is exactly what it was for, and having a conversation with the captain.
Yeah, and Alejo Araguin, to his credit, did not hesitate. It was not a late whistle by any means. He was clear with his decision, and the yellow card has left us with a penalty kick situation. Solomon Asante, the league's leading goal scorer, against Eric Lopez, just 20 years old, making his 11th appearance tonight for Los Dos. And Asante sneaks it through. A 1-0 lead for Phoenix. And that is the 22nd goal of the season for Solo Asante.
The guy who steps up every single time from the penalty mark, always keeping goalkeepers guessing, not exactly sure which way this is going to go. Little hop, skip, and a jump a la Joseph Martinez from Atlanta United. Both of them always testing goalkeepers, mental warfare. Eric Lopez actually guesses right, goes to the bottom corner, but Solomon Asante, so clever at his efforts, just tucks it into bed right next to that interior of the post. They now follow suit from what was the 3-0 victory against Colorado Springs, putting one in the back of the net in the opening 10 minutes.
Clinical, absolutely clinical for Solo Asante. And, you know, I asked Rick Schatz, what impresses you most about Solomon Asante? And he said it's not just his goal-scoring ability, but whatever the team needs, he's willing to do. Whether it's picking up the water bottles after practice, whether it's making a run, whether it's making a tackle, he'll do it because he's a team-first guy. And it's that type of culture building that they've experienced here in this second run, if you will. After that beautiful run to the final in 2018, they fell short to Lou City, obviously. They've come back hungrier, and they've added some pieces. But it's guys like Solomon Asante who are not only the superstars, but also team-first guys.
People around this club have a lot of opportunity to really get involved in one-on-one situations with this organization. They do a good job about branching players out, community events. But if you've never had the chance to interact with Solomon Asante, it's a personality thing as well. His laugh is contagious. Great from start to finish, always upbeat. Any individual accolades that he's acquired, he never takes it at heart. He always points to the guy sitting next to him, says this is a team effort. By the way, he's got one of the best laughs I've ever heard in my entire life. Just pushes you up, and so positive, really happy kind of guy, and that kind of pushes everybody else around training as well.
Now can Los Dos respond after a yellow card in the box led to a PK opportunity for Solomon Asante, and you just knew he would take advantage. A 1-0 lead in the desert for Phoenix Rising, going for its 20th consecutive victory. How do the Galaxy respond here? Because they've come out pressing a little bit. We've seen them get on top of Phoenix with the ball in the back, but no real opportunities to speak of so far.
They're obviously going to be disappointed that they've conceded inside of 10 minutes. However, they won't waver now. Beautiful space on the left-hand side, and just hoping that their confidence doesn't lack. They did a good job staying strong against Phoenix Rising. Keep your heads up and just continue to push forward. You're now fighting an uphill battle, and this is a team that once they're out in front, they very rarely concede again.
Plus 49 goal differential if you include that last goal by Solomon Asante. 16 better than the next closest team, at least coming into tonight. So fighting on the far side, Junior Flemings. Back from his duties with the Jamaican national team. And now the Galaxy building. Augustine Williams trying to track that into the box. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. Shop Arizona's largest selection of new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense. Sanderson Ford is America's most awarded Ford dealership for customer service. Shop Sanderson Ford. Lostos 8th in the Western Conference, which is well within the playoff line as we've expanded to 10 teams per conference here in 2019. But they started the week in 6th. And Devin, that goes to your point of how wide open this Western Conference has been this year. Not quite like the East, which has been a bit more settled. And now Phoenix making a bit of a run here. Well defended by the Galaxy. Phoenix just pesky. They continue to come at you. And now perhaps another opportunity. And that sneaks in. Trickling past Lopez. And there it is. The second goal of the night. And it comes off the foot of Junior Flemings. Well, the threat is always there. So many weapons, Devin Kerr. And when they open it with one, you just never know when that second goal might come.
Junior Flemings, one of the 8 changes coming back into this lineup as he was on international duty with the Reggae boys. And this isn't the best move by Eric Lopez. This distance, with not that much pace put behind it, goalkeeper should have done better. However, the individual accolades for Solomon Asante can also not be understated by the performances put forth by Junior Flemings. Look at the quick little touches at the top of the 18. Brings this back across his body. That's his first goal since that 4-2 comeback at Tacoma Defiance back on August 27th.
The 12th goal of the season for Junior Flemings. It's a career high. And completely flipping the script on this Lostos side, who led Phoenix 2-0 in their last meeting on August 3rd. And of course, we all remember what happened then. Phoenix went on to win 3-2, scoring 3 unanswered goals. How does this young and relatively inexperienced Lostos side respond, especially in a hostile environment where Phoenix has been so good over the last couple of seasons?
I can promise you this as well. The conversation by Phoenix on the sideline is not going to be, okay, let's start to go through the motions and slow things down. It's going to be the exact opposite. They will go for blood right now as it is 100% spreading in the water. They're looking for number 3.
That goal tying the record set by Reno back in 2017. And so Phoenix 1 goal away from breaking the single season record. They need 76. They are at 75 right now. And we talked about all the records that are within their reach and the fact that they've made those records a goal and a talked about goal with clear ambitions to continue this win streak. Only 6 games remain in the regular season. They know that they'll be hosting throughout the playoffs. And of course, unfinished business last year after losing in Louisville to Lou City 1-0.
Something to think about that obviously is quite far down the line, but that loss really stuck in their heads. And to give you an idea, there were already moves being made leading into that final. I'm not going to tell you exactly what went on, but they had a really good idea of how they wanted to strengthen this squad so that if they ran into a situation where their main men up top, Chris Cortez last year, and you could look at Adam John, Solomon Asante, if they didn't have the luxury of having the one striker, they needed a backup. Great off-season work, and now all of those dividends are starting to pay off.
Kevin Lambert booked for his takedown. Justin Fittis grabbing that right foot.
Remember here for Kevin Lambert, he actually got involved in the challenge down in the corner, opening 5 minutes that gave Lostos that first set piece. This time just overextending himself, and that's something Lambert has to be really careful of. He has a tendency to be extremely even-keeled, but it's a one slip up here and there that can get him into trouble. Opening 20 minutes, the coaching staff's not going to be very happy with the fact that he's ended up in the book. Whether you agree with the card or not is a different story. Now, you've got to extend yourself for the better portion of 3/4 of a match sitting on a card.
Can the Galaxy do something with this here? Throw in coming, quickly done. Into the corner, takedown, nothing yet from the referee. And there is the whistle. And he signaled to a corner kick. The first of the night for either side. Zach Lubin in net for Phoenix. He's been so good for the Rising this year. Back post, headed on and high. Maybe not the result the Galaxy would have liked, but at least they're in the zone, in the area. And that's more than they could say for themselves over the last 10 minutes anyway.
They had Iliard Arce and Kai Koreniuk on the back post, trying to make those late runs and play the two-man game.
Phoenix Rising is pleased to have players from PRFC Youth Soccer as tonight's First Watch Ball Kids. Be sure to visit www.firstwatch.com to find your neighborhood First Watch, the Daytime Cafe. What's your go-to breakfast? I'm a pancake guy myself.
Oddly enough, I don't eat breakfast.
No, I'm saying, come on, man. On a Sunday or whatever.
You ready for it?
Yeah,
well,
a brunch.
Being a Midwesterner, Nebraska boy, real simple for me. Country fried steak and eggs over easy, hash browns, wheat toast, butter.
Right, for a guy who doesn't do breakfast, boy, that's an awful big platter you got there.
You know, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go big. Go big or go home, my friend.
I like that. Country fried steak.
Look, if it makes the greenies at home, they'd be happy. I'll throw juice in there, okay? we'll get the power bomb.
Get your vitamins.
There you go, yeah.
It has been a sweet start to the night for Phoenix. And a beautiful turn in the midfield. And here comes a run from Junior Flemings. You know, you alluded to it a few minutes ago, Devin, talking about how moves were already in the works. Ideas were being hatched before the end of the 2018 season, and actually The Athletic came out with a really intriguing article a few days ago talking about what Didier Drogba meant to this team, not just in terms of his presence on the field, but in terms of bringing players here. And they mentioned one story in particular where Didier was on the pitch in the middle of a game and was so impressed with an opposing player that he said, "You're going to play for us next year." Now that deal didn't end up working out, but it gives you an idea of just how forward-thinking this club has been over the last couple of seasons.
Anytime that man looks at me and says, "Come with me," I don't care where he's leading me, I'm following.
Well, you look at the players that Phoenix has been able to bring, not only this year, but in last year as well, and Didier's name certainly carries a lot of weight, not just in the States, but globally. And he's still involved with the club from afar, dropping in words of encouragement and motivational messages before matches here and there, and some of the new players gawking at those texts from Didier Drogba. Throw-in coming for Phoenix.
Still one of my favorite stories that's come out of this club is in 2018, the opportunity to not only experience time with the great one, but also share moments that would be real easy for him to push guys aside. And Lambert just having a strike from distance, wants to get in the goal scoring fun. It'd be real easy for him to be this major megastar, buy into a club, and then, okay, make a couple appearances. All right, boys, I'll see you when I see you. Not the case. Regularly last year, inviting them over, they would have barbecues, he would cook. I think it was catered, but you know, whatever, I didn't get the invite. Mine's still lost in the mail. I've been told that the next one will
Your address changed.
Yeah, you know, it'll be certified. We'll see about that. But, you know, inviting these young guys over, and, you know, whether you're Solomon Asante, who's had success, you know, you've been in Africa with Patrice Carteron, experienced a lot of highs, or you're a youngster like Kevin Lambert, who's, you know, a rising star within the game, as well as the global game at the international level. Those guys getting a chance to go and hang out with someone like Didier Drogba in the confines of his own private home and share moments like that, that builds your character, and it gives you the belief that, honestly, I feel like I can do anything going forward.
Talking to from our central referee tonight. Alejo Araguin. What would you like to see different from Los Dos? We're about halfway through the first 45 minutes, and they've been on their heels, quite frankly. This ball is played through and turned nicely. Chip on net, but right at the keeper. Batted down by Lopez.
Before we get there, Van Lambert has to keep his head on a swivel here. He had Vassell running on the back post.
Now then, Williams, nobody home.
What you'd really like to see out of Los Dos is, and it's very difficult to do, this is what most teams struggle with, is the individual battles. Junior Gonzalez telling us that this team has been much better. The fluidity of which their performances have showcased recently. We talked about the results, but impressive by nature. They passed the eye test, similar to what you see out of Phoenix Rising, where they're not just winning, they're doing it in style. And now you have to win the one-on-one battles, where when Junior Gonzalez is checking back, you can't be reacting at that point in time, giving him space where he's always turning, running at you. You have to have a forearm on his back, pushing him away from that ball when it's played in. Same goes for Adam John up top. You've got Solomon Asante on the right-hand side, and a lot of times you're going to lose those battles, and that's okay. But when he does get in behind you, what's the reaction like? The problem is you don't want everybody reacting. So if Flemings is going to turn, you can't then be chasing Adam John, who's chasing the overlapping run of Peter Lee Vassell in the middle, Lambert coming back in as well. You can lose one, but that's about it. And you have to be great in communication if it does break down.
Do you sense any nerves tonight for Los Dos after 2 goals have gone in and the atmosphere that's here in Phoenix?
It's not necessarily nerves. It's, to be honest, they're so young, and you've seen them all season long. They don't really fear anything. The problem is you're 26 minutes in, you're down 2-0. You got to find some way to relieve some of this pressure, because it's not just 2 goals. They're pinned in their own half, struggling to play out.
To find some way to get organized and maintain possession of any kind. Nice interplay. Asante making a run, edge of the box. He's already bagged one tonight. And now back the other way. Here come the Galaxy. Kai Koreniuk taken down in the midfield, and a card comes out immediately. And a booking that goes against AJ Cochran. And it's the second of the night for Phoenix.
As good as the defensive shape is for Phoenix Rising, AJ Cochran really lucky that everybody else had started to track back here. Koreniuk pushing forward. There's no intent to take him down. He's 100% going for the ball. Just wonder what could have been if it was a last man standing type deal. The good news is was making arrangements for other opportunities behind him, as saw Corey Whelan at the tail end of the picture helping out.
Good news for Los Dos fans. Koreniuk up under his own power. Chilau earns himself a free kick. And now this could be interesting for Los Dos. Rick Schatz taking exception to that call. Well, Alejo Araguin, our central referee tonight, certainly has not had any hesitation with the calls he's made. He's been very intentional and deliberate with how he has officiated thus far.
We've seen some great distribution from Jose Hernandez, number 47 so far. They're going to turn the reins over to Achampong to whip this in with his left foot. He can go direct, but keep an eye on 62 Depew, 6'5" as a target man.
The free kick was just a bit short, but it goes out for a corner. And now another opportunity. It'll be Achampong again to take it. 22-year-old Ghanaian. High arcing ball, back post, and they were indeed going for Depew. Scooped out of midair, however, by Lubin. And now a run. Boy, this could be dangerous. Galaxy trying to get back, but Vassell could not maintain the handle. And lucky for Los Dos. I haven't talked much about Zach Lubin tonight simply because he hasn't been tested. He hasn't shown up on your TV screen much, but he certainly has been an integral part to this run over the last 19 games. 13 clean sheets this year for Lubin. Here's a heading ball. And it was Whelan knocking it out of play. And another corner kick coming for the Galaxy.
He set the shutout record in terms of Phoenix Rising history with 13 last week, passing Carl Wazinski's efforts of 2018. But to me, the bigger one is the fact that his 70 saves on the year are tied for 9th in the league. And a lot of the guys above him are struggling for playoff spots. So it's showcasing the fact that he can step up even when his back line is broken down.
Currently in second in the goalkeeper of the year Golden Gloves, if you will. Race. And racing towards the box. Galaxy have an opportunity, deflected wide on a shot from Jose Hernandez. Boy, he is sneaky. 5'3", 130 pounds, soaking wet. The Mexican-American with 2 goals and 4 assists this year. He can really dance and create. And he's developed into a leadership role this year, according to Junior Gonzalez. Now a ball comes back in and deflected out easily, that time off the back line. Junior Gonzalez applying pressure. Thanks to our friends at Jackson's Car Wash, you get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. Visit phoenixrising.com/Jacksons for more information. Will the flag come up? Yes, it does. Before Junior Flemings has an opportunity to go for the new single-season USL record for goals scored. Phoenix currently on 75, tying Reno from 2017. One more, and they will shatter another record, rewriting the history books this season in 2019. Over 30 minutes gone in the first half. We've seen more of an effort from the Galaxy to maintain possession over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Really get the ball out of their own end.
This is where things become difficult for teams that are facing Phoenix Rising. I referenced around the 22nd, 25th minute mark how it wasn't just the 2-0, it was the fact that they weren't even getting over halfway line. That story has changed now. The problem is the counter-attacking for Phoenix has started to open up. So when you go tit for tat with this team, especially when you're on the road, you have to find a way to minimize the counterattacks for Rising, maintain that proper disposition on the defensive side of the ball. And what you're seeing is the back line of Los Angeles Galaxy too, just not moving as high as the rest of the attacking unit is. That's leaving 15, 20 yards available for the likes of Adam John, Solomon Asante, Junior Flemings, where they can provide that initial stretch and then get a second wave of attack from the midfield 3.
Phoenix Rising have only lost 2 games all year. They're 21-2-5. Of course, as we've detailed, they've won 19 straight games, but those 2 losses came away from their home stadium. They have not lost at home this year. And not only that, you talked about it when they bagged the 2nd goal. Coming from behind against this team is an even taller task. And it speaks to the completeness of this club. The fact that not only can they score goals in bunches with an absolute monstrous trio up front, but they have perhaps the best back line in the USL Championship.
And it only gets better every single time they step on the field, where the range of passing we showcased last week really starts to take shape right now. AJ Cochran stepping into the middle. Corey Whelan has added to the arsenal as well. And when Junior Flemings can't find that back post run, as you're seeing, you just rotate back around, everybody very patient, and you can continue to move all of these pieces at your disposal, because really they can rotate anywhere they want.
Nate Schultz a bit heavy on his clearance. There's just so much young talent on this Galaxy team, and you feel maybe perhaps if they can just see one goal go through the back of net, especially before the halftime whistle, it can really change the dynamic of this game. Perhaps a chance brewing in the midfield, losing the handle momentarily, but regathered by Achupong. And now signaling to Hernandez to play it wide. Schultz stepping up into the attack, and a miscommunication there. And that's part of the challenge that you face on a team like Los Dos as well, with so many players coming up and down and moving into the fold. They have a number of players on loan as well. You don't necessarily get the same cohesion on the training ground that you do, for example, with a team like Phoenix.
Even when you start the same three that had a solid showing against Real Monarchs in the middle of the field, and I'm directly referencing right now Jeffrey Achampong, Jose Hernandez, and Carlos Harvey. The shape in the middle really off right now. They like to sit in the three inverted triangle, similar to what you see out of Rising. The problem is right now is Achampong's actually dropping deeper alongside Harvey, creating two.
Williams dribbling. Williams has a go, and just right of the bar. Well, he did have Lubin beat there. Best look of the night for Los Dos.
Better rotation as well. Williams coming out from that central location. Kareniuk had already tucked himself inside. You go one-on-one. The quick little cut across the body. Corey Willen has to be careful. He's playing on the gamble where he's trying to push Williams to that left-hand side, gets himself squared up, and almost puts himself behind the 8 ball.
You go to ground in the box like that, you have to be sure. And now Junior Flemings down in the box. And the referee points to the corner. Corner kick coming. Oh, my goodness. He has the ability to get behind just about any defender in the league.
There is a reason why Hilliard Arce is on a Galaxy contract, former All-American coming out of Stanford, who has showcased himself at the MLS level, and now an opportunity to work his way back into things, getting regular repetitions for Los Dos.
Just a professional tackle by Arce, punched out by Lopez. And the press from Phoenix continues. Hilliard Arce, one of the older players on the roster, just 23 years old. Part of 3 straight national championships with the Stanford Cardinal. Playing 4 years of college makes him one of the most experienced players on the roster, which is crazy to say, especially going up against this side in Phoenix. So many in their late 20s with plenty of international professional experience as Hernandez goes wide. Chilo out for a throw.
Souvenir.
That's a keeper.
I've tried that move a couple times. It didn't end well for me.
Got to get those select balls back on the pitch.
I think the problem is too is I'm not exactly blending in at 6'5".
No.
Although recently I have really nice news. I am going to have to go back to the DMV and get my license changed. Recently measured, I'm now an official 6'6", so that's pretty exciting news.
You're still growing.
Still growing. Mentally, I've regressed, but from the physical standpoint, things have gotten much better.
We'll leave that out of the conversation. If you could now just give me some of your height, I'd appreciate it.
Make that work. There's a step stool in the corner we
right.
can help you out with.
Luckily, we're not on camera for the open out here. Here's a ball into the middle. Solo Asante has a go from the top. Was it deflected? No. Goal kick coming for Lopez.
This looked like Eric Lopez might have gotten a touch on it. Much better coverage than what we saw on the strike by Junior Flemings. Asante might have pulled this on the far post, and I'll tell you what.
You hold your breath anytime he has the ball around the 18.
It's really close. It's so hard to track. That's just another one where Solomon Asante drifting inside, and if you're Justin Fittis, you think, okay, do I go with him? So if you pass him off, Depew and Hilliard Arce have to be willing to talk to each other, because now there's the space in front of him. Carlos Harvey hasn't come back to help out, and you're in a 2v1. So which way does it go? Fittis does come in, and as you just track back across, that's where all the space opens up, as center back did not rotate back to the exterior side on the left.
Fittis. There's a new hero in town, Phoenix fans, and she's Gotham City's only hope. Batwoman premieres on your Phoenix CW Sundays this fall. Hilliard Arce chased back to Lopez, and the pressure coming now from Adam John. And it forces an errant pass. Throw coming for Phoenix now. As we get within 5 minutes of the halftime whistle. We've seen more from Galaxy 2. Here's a run. Confident play out of the back from Zach Lubin. Asante bumped. Fittis talking to from Araguin. One thing you can say about this Los Dos side, having won 3 of its last 4, coming on strong in the latter half of the season, Junior Gonzalez feels like they've done a really nice job controlling the tempo and the pace from the start. And you have to credit Phoenix for taking that right out from underneath them from the get-go here. And of course, that early PK in the 9th minute certainly changed the complexity of this first half and how it would be played after that.
I mentioned about the 30-minute mark. I said that it's probably before that this team wasn't done. They would go after a third one. It's slowed down a little bit here, but what happens is, as an opposing team, you start to second guess yourself a little bit, and it becomes mentally debilitating where it wears on you over time. All of these balls going back and forth, they make you chase, and even when you don't have it, the work off the ball is always harder than when you are in possession of it. Rising just enjoying their fair share towards the latter portion of this first half, making Los Dos chase side to side, and it seems like all of their efforts right now are coming in the form of long balls stretching it.
Ball comes across, and I believe that was Achampong. Slow to get up as he's grabbing the middle of his back. Certainly putting his body on the line in his first half, rising literally to the occasion. It was actually Augustine Williams.
Hey, this kid's on another level tonight right now. Peter Lee Vassell, Phoenix Rising, just looking at what their current statistics are in the form of possession. Currently their passing accuracy is at 81%. That young man right there, 92% passing accuracy, leading the way for Rising going forward. And just keep an eye on him. The way that he shifts in and out of these tight spaces gives you an idea of what's going on at LAFC and how well he listens under the tutelage of Bob Bradley, former Caribbean Combine MVP for MLS, and someone who was on trial in Norway fall of October 2018 with his fellow countryman Damian Lowe.
Depew playing it back. Coming up at halftime, we're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. They are all business when it comes to game time. Here's a ball in, and a beautiful play on the back line by Nick Depew. And it goes out for a corner. While they are all business when it comes to game time, the Phoenix CW does like a good laugh. So get ready to laugh, giggle, and groan with some dad jokes coming up at halftime. You're not quite old enough yet for the dad jokes, but I feel like you might be getting there, Devin.
Yeah, it's heading in that direction, isn't it?
He is still growing. Well after his collegiate days, still adding inches to the measuring stick, and certainly Phoenix adding records to their trophy case. That is the single season record for goals scored by a team falling tonight in Phoenix. 3-0 Rising.
Another guy that doesn't necessarily get enough credit in terms of area ability. Look at Solomon Asante, quick little set piece down in the corner. They catch Losto sleeping. They were marked up initially, but they hit the panic button going after the two-man game down in the corner. When this gets whipped in, Junior Flemings just recognized that there's space to be occupied right around the penalty mark. He bags his brace. Phoenix now have 3.
And that's the second goal tonight for Junior Flemings. Phoenix taking down Reno's former single season record for goals scored at 75. Phoenix now with 76 and still 6.5 games to play in the regular season. Truly amazing what this club has done here in 2019. But as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, still a lot of unfinished business. And even with all the records coming down and the win streak in hand, this team wants to win a USL championship title. How about that nifty move in the box? Blocked by Lubin, kicked off the back line by Whelan. And now the Galaxy regain. Achampong, back post, swatted away by Lubin. Nifty back heel attempts by Koreniuk. Couldn't quite get there. Fittis. In swinging ball. Back of the 18. Schultz turning it back. And now really feeling the pressure from Junior Flemings. And he runs him right out of play. Throw in coming for Phoenix. And there it is, the halftime whistle from Phoenix, 3-0 Rising. And they have taken down another record, 76 goals scored in the regular season already with 6.5 matches left. And surely they will topple the former record held by Reno, who tallied 75 back in 2017. The road to history continues for Phoenix. We'll be back from the desert with more at halftime.
I'm Jay Russell, and you're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Welcome to halftime. If you've been to a home game, you've heard his voice. Now Chloe Mara introduces us to the man behind the mic at Casino Arizona Field.
We're here with the voice, or one of the voices, at the Phoenix Rising, Jeff.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's starting lineups.
Well, my name's Jeff Munn. I'm a native Phoenician. I think I was here when we were still doing things by Pony Express, so that's how long I've lived here. But this is, I came aboard when Rising really got started in 2017.
So you've been here for the long haul.
If 3 years is a long haul, then yes, I've been here for the long haul.
So what does your day look like when you show up to the game?
I usually get here about 2 hours before the match just to get in ahead of the crowd, get settled in up here. Most nights I try to go get a cup of coffee, but the stand was a little bit too crowded tonight, so I'll just do water. But most times I get here, just go over the rosters, and we start making announcements about an hour and 15 minutes before match time.
Do you have to get into like a certain mindset with like your voice, things like that, to have the delivery?
No, this is it. This is it. You know, I tell people all the time, if they want to hear me talk like this, call my house. I talk like that all the time.
Be sure to visit our Just Sports merchandise tent located near the entrance of the stadium to get your hands on our exclusive item of the match.
And do you feel like when they score, do you feel the excitement, or do you kind of pull back?
Well, you feel the crowd's excitement. A guy in my position, you're reacting to the crowd. You don't. The management of the Rising told me from the beginning that they didn't want me necessarily to be a cheerleader, but because soccer is a very regimented sport in terms of how the announcer operates. But clearly, when the team scores a goal, you can feel the energy coming out of there, and yeah, that does impact me a little bit too.
How did you get into this with speaking and announcing?
I've been doing some form of announcing for about 43 years. I used to announce for the Suns, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals. In other words, I can't hold a job. But I've done announcing around town. And they called me. I do a lot of freelance work now, and they called me and said, would you be interested in doing this? And I felt at the time that it was really like getting in on the ground floor of something that was going to get really big. I'm not into that per se in terms of, you know, what it does for my own ego, but it's been very fun to watch this all grow and develop.
Stay right there. You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Asante does it again. Mr. Reliable from the spot. Asante does it again.
As Asante steals it and just puts it into the back of the net.
There's DaCosta. The attempt at an amazing goal! Maybe a goal of the year candidate from Rodrigo DaCosta.
This side as well.
That's a good point. Let's wait and see if they do.
As Kamara absolutely flies past Tete for pace. Here's Kamara! And a brilliant save from Cody Mizell. Mohamed Kamara is causing problems.
Mikey Rowe now. Rowe takes it on, and it's in! What a strike! And Tormenta, they strike first! Ontivero. Silva will have a hit! Oh, good save by Majimadu.
Safe.
Hilton goes charging through, has to go! And what a strike it is from...
Oh, that's sensational. Oh, what a strike. Kadima! Saved by Bettleson. The Orban lets it fly. More on the save. Well, an eventful first half for Phoenix Rising, taking down the old single-season record for USL goals scored in a season set by Reno back in 2017. Phoenix still has 6 more matches to add to that record. Well, and an even 20 partner certainly seems like it could be in the books tonight. They are well within the realm of extending that win streak to 20 games.
3 goals, most assuredly 3 points. Second 45 minutes to figure that one out. Love this Wednesday night soccer matchup with St. Louis FC and New York Red Bull 2. The Culture Collection. If you haven't checked out some of these jerseys, really cool stuff. Jump onto the USL Championship website. Personal favorites, I like the Fresno and Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Wow, picking favorites, showing some bias.
And for jerseys, you know.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of St. Louis, they played really well in the East. But how about the Western Conference standings? The Wild West, if you will. Look at all those that group, I should say, of teams, 4 through 7, all within a couple of points of each other. Then you've got Galaxy at 39. Really, even San Antonio at 10 could find themselves at 5 with a win and a loss from somebody else.
From 4th to 13th, the gap was 6 points last week, 5 the week before. It's actually jumped out to 9 now. So starting to push themselves away. New Mexico United doing battle at Colorado Springs. They are on a weather delay, but they just started. San Antonio FC back in the top 10. They took down Energy FC 3-1. And if you want to see an interesting match, go check out Fresno at Las Vegas Lights. Not exactly sure what's going on the side of the field, but hey, it's Vegas, baby.
It's Vegas, baby. And this is Phoenix. A shootout for Phoenix Rising. 3 goals in the first half. What will we see in half number 2? 45 down, 45 to go.
You're watching Kicking It on your Phoenix CW. I'm Jay Russell.
They are all business when it comes to game time, but this team loves a good laugh. So get ready to laugh, giggle, and groan with some bad dad jokes.
Why can't you play soccer with pigs?
I don't know.
Tell us. They hog the ball. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Why did Cinderella get kicked off the soccer team?
She didn't have no shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it?
Cleats didn't fit. Cleats didn't fit.
The cleat didn't fit. That's a good one.
Come on.
Because she kept running away from the ball.
The ball.
Oh. Yeah. That's actually pretty
That's
good.
a winner right there. Why are soccer players good at math?
Carlos. You're a smart one here.
You gotta be able to count. You gotta be able to count high on dollar beer nights when we score 6 goals a game.
Good job.
That's not the answer to the joke, though.
What's the answer?
They know how to use their head.
That's.
I didn't write it.
What lights up a soccer stadium?
Lights.
A soccer match. Get it? Get it? Like lights and it's a match.
Where's the best place to shop for a soccer uniform?
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona.
New Jersey, bro.
That's so, yeah.
Come on,
New
man.
Jersey makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just such a bad joke.
Oh, dribble.
You're watching Kicking It on your Phoenix CW. Stay right there. We're back with the second half right after this.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Halftime from Phoenix, and certainly the first 45 minutes proved action-packed for Phoenix. Right,
his head. He grabs 2 in the first half. Phoenix grabbed 3. 45 minutes to go.
Phoenix in the dark home uniforms. Los Dos in the all-white. Matt Schumacher, Devin Kerr with you from Phoenix, Arizona. And the second 45 underway in the desert. Phoenix trying to make it 20 consecutive wins. They've already taken down the previously longest held win streak in American Pro Soccer, which was set by the LA Galaxy MLS side in 1998. Galaxy right now sitting in 8th in the Western Conference standings, and with the USL playoff format expanding to 10 teams per conference, they are still in the race for a playoff berth. And you know, the interesting thing that Junior Gonzalez expressed to us is that this is a group that is fighting for one another, and you don't always get that with a club as young as they are, with so many guys who are on MLS contracts, but there's a cohesion to this group in spite of the fact that they are not always on the pitch with one another, especially at the training ground. And now here comes Los Dos. By the way, Ethan Zubak has checked in for Los Dos, the first substitution of the night for LA Galaxy 2, relieving Jeffrey Achampong of his duties. Played all 45 minutes of the first half and stoppage time.
Zubak will go up to the front line. The key question will be, what is Junior Gonzalez going to do in the form of the front three attack? Will Don Chalao tuck himself in next to Jose Hernandez, or we allow Kai Koreniuk to have a little fun in the middle of the field? Anything to get some momentum going forward, as you see Jorge Hernandez has come on for outside back Nate Schultz as well.
Here's a ball flicked on net and wide, and out for a goal kick to Zach Lubin. So Jorge Hernandez, as well as Ethan Zubak, fresh legs to start the second half for Junior Gonzalez's club. The speed on the outside for this Phoenix Rising club, unmatched. Here's a ball into the area. Chipped back post, looking for Flemings. What other records might we see Phoenix break in the near future? Well, certainly USL Championship wins in a season is well within their reach. Cincinnati set it last season with 23 before moving to the MLS this year. With a win tonight, Phoenix would be just one away from tying that with 6 games remaining in the regular season. Well ahead of the rest of the Western Conference. They have locked up the #1 seed for the USL playoffs. And thus, a team that has been so good at home, undefeated in fact, will get to play all of its playoff games in Phoenix in front of Los Bandidos. The rest of the supporters. And a restart coming in the midfield.
Something they also will take pride in knowing is the way this is all taking shape. The entire USL Championship final in 2019 will end up running through Phoenix based upon the run of form that they're on. They'll get the opportunity to not only host their matches in the Western Conference, but if they find themselves winning a few matches and making it back to the final, they will have the chance to host. Let the Eastern Conference foe come to the desert and see what they're capable of.
And could you imagine this place for a USL Championship final?
Rockin' wouldn't even do it justice.
One of the great venues and atmospheres, not only in the USL Championship, but in American professional soccer. Ball wide, tracked down by Solo Asante. Running end line, back heel flip, beautifully executed. Takedown by Kai Koreniuk. Arguin comes over, and he has issued Koreniuk a card, booked in the 51st minute.
Just doing battle down in the corner. Dambuya with an opportunity to take a little touch on it, and he's trying to just showcase that proper disposition when need be. Unfortunately, Kai Koreniuk coming in really late on him and understands that
Restart coming for Phoenix. Dangerous opportunity to add to their season goal tally. Swinging ball back post, too far for Adam John. Goal kick for Lopez. Schultz. Pressure continues up top for the trio of Flemings, John, and Asante. Phoenix fans now enjoy the legendary Sonic Car Hop Classic with a juicy quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a 6-inch Philly cheesesteak plus tots for a knockout price of $2.99. You can't beat that, Devin Kerr. I know you're a big fan of the tots. Here's a ball into the middle. And well dealt with by that gritty Phoenix back line. Now a turn. It was Williams getting a foot on it. And wide for Asante. John poaching. Making a run. Adam John one-on-one, and the flag comes up. And he takes exception to it.
They've got a case to be made on this one as the linesman on the far side pulling the flag up here. You wonder as to whether or not it's directed at James Musa or Adam John. Regardless, it does pull it down on some beautiful play, and they're calling him on the first ball there. As it gets played back across, it looked like James Musa was going to have a go on it. He definitely is in an offside position.
Musa deferred to John. How about that? Saw his teammate in his peripheral and said, you know what, you go ahead and take this one.
He knows better. He's only got a few goals in his career for a reason. And holding midfielder spot.
Williams. Now wide for Koreniuk. There's Hernandez in the box. As well as Zubak. And the player down.
Just looked like Mbuya took it off his ankle as he hit the ground. A bit tentative is in his actions. Coming up now.
Corner kick coming for Galaxy 2. Low ball. Still loose in the box. Lambert. And back to Galaxy. Can they find some magic here and get on the score sheet? Harvey. Schultz stepping into the attack. Beautiful touch. Now an opportunity for Williams. Koreniuk chipping it on. And easily handled by Zach Lubin.
Quality first step here by A.J. Cochran, where even when he recognizes that he had been beat, just turns on the Jets a little bit to close the space down and regroup that back line.
And how about the space closed down by Hernandez? And the rush quickly back. Fleming's already with 2 goals. Now leaves it wide. Ball coming across. Amadou Dia dancing. Chipped in. Vassell out of play. Williams taken down. And it's a throw coming for Los Dos. Well, the youngster Williams has been all over the pitch tonight, on and off the turf. Have to credit the young man. He's left his whole body in the line of fire tonight. John in the midfield, maintaining possession. The interesting thing about our conversations, at least in my opinion, Devin, and maybe you took some more out of it when we spoke with Rick Schantz earlier in the week. He talked about the fact that this group has not been complacent. And here's a ball coming through for Adam John, played off the back line excellently by Hilliard Arce. And now John was offside. Surely he has a go. Flag did eventually come up. But Rick Schatz told us that they have not been complacent, but in fact, the contrary. They have held each other accountable. They have pushed. They have verbally talked about taking this record to new heights. And the biggest thing that's come out of it has been a leadership component. And in fact, this winning streak has elevated the leadership qualities of this group.
Funny how whether he was intentionally trying to use reverse psychology or not, I liked his comments about the game at Las Vegas just recently, midweek, how they get in at halftime and guys, don't worry, like this is a rough place to come play. It's 0-0. Let's get the point and get out of here. A lot of guys took offense to that. They didn't like the words coming from their manager, and Rick Schatz didn't say anything about motivation, and as this takes a deflection, it'll go down into the corner. But you almost wonder if you get under their skin a little bit, okay, let me find another form of motivation. And he seems to be able to do that. Exactly, yeah. And everybody did take that to heart. Of course, we saw a very different Phoenix Rising team in the second half, and you'd like to call it a budding rivalry. Unfortunately, Vegas hasn't really been able to reciprocate on their side of things. It's still a good response by Phoenix Rising in the second half. And, you know, in terms of where they always continue to push themselves, it'd be real easy, and I'm going to borrow your word here for a second, to become complacent, switch off for a second. Up 3 goals, coast in the second half, maybe give up 1, even a second down the stretch of things to where, you know, maybe the scoreline makes it interesting. They don't like that, though. They take pride in not only putting balls in the back of the net, but removing them as well. As you can see, one of their talisman up top who has so many goals helping out defensively, Junior Flemings. And this team, 14 shutouts on the year, 9 of which, by the way, have come in 3 streaks of 3. They're currently on one right now. If they finish this game off, that would be 4 in a row. They haven't done yet that this season.
Zach Lubin, of course, we talked about him a lot tonight, and what he's been able to do in net, breaking the club record with 13 shutouts of his own accord. Offside flag comes up on Solomon Asante. We don't have to read body language to see that he did not like the call, but you also have to credit the back line. And interestingly, there has been some shifting this year on the back line, but they haven't lost a step. They haven't lost any of the spark in terms of performance. There's been no drop-off when Rick Schatz has plugged and popped different pieces on that back 4.
Also the opportunity with, we'll rotate the outside back position in terms of this conversation, and the likes of Austin Ledbetter and Cal Bjornathan recently, guys that started off with FC Tucson and now with Phoenix Rising. They've actually gotten on to Rising contracts.
Fans, it's time for the Sonic Happy Hour, brought to you by Sonic. Enjoy the Car Hop Classic for a knockout price of $2.99. If a Rising player scores during the 60th minute, one lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. Here's an opportunity. Sky that a play. For more info, visit PhoenixRisingFC.com/Sonic. That was the chance for the Car Hop Classic.
Corn dogs, Jackie Moon.
Wow.
Corn dogs for everybody. Jay Key right at the top of the 18.
I'm more of a quarter pounder type of guy. Throw a few tots on there, maybe a milkshake to wash it down.
Still waiting to get my hands on a Sonic slushie and see what form of adult embracing we can connect in there. The mad scientist make his way into the laboratory and see what comes out on the other end.
Are you the guy who goes up to the slushy machine and just starts hitting all the buttons?
No, I play favorites.
Oh,
absolutely. I am
like you did with the jerseys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is all premeditated.
Right. Kerr's crazy concoctions.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of those.
Patent 2019. Maybe trademark, but either way.
Flemings goes down. Harvey on the foul. Restart coming for Phoenix.
You wonder how high they'll send their center backs to whip something in. The answer is not at all. They're going to play quick here.
Fleming's dancing, creating, still going on the 18. Down he goes, and the referee points to the spot. And he hands it to Hernandez, who will have to read lips to see that he doesn't like the call. You better be careful. Arguin has not been slow to reach for the pocketbook. Had another look at it.
A lot of fans think that this is actually on the second one, but it's not. It's on the first one, which tracked back, where he pretty much hacked at his right leg. Watch right here. It's there, and then the follow through just before. The second one around, not as bad at all.
Perhaps some frustration from the young Jose Hernandez.
Even more so being down 3-0,
right.
And you given a chance for them to move into 4. You wonder exactly who's going to hit this. Really, Vassal Loney from LAFC seems a bit square to get enough power around this. Solomon Asante, the one who recently has been on a ridiculous streak. Who could forget the game winner at the tail end against San Antonio FC?
Solomon Asante scored the first goal of the match. Leaves a tap. Not much behind that from Kevin Lambert. Goal kick. Here's a look at Phoenix Rising's upcoming schedule. A 3-game road swing, and certainly at Fresno, at New Mexico, those will not be easy. And they close out with OKC at home. Could they run the table? Devin Kerr.
At this point in time, it's hard to bet against them. Can they? Anything's possible. Will they? That's a whole nother story.
Lambert skies it out of play.
You gotta think about that game at Fresno, Chuck Chansey Park. And the Foxes have only given up points in terms of a loss one time this year. There are 4 draws there, so a really difficult place to play. Adam Smith has done impressive things with that team, and you know, it brings me back to the game earlier this year when Phoenix Rising played them and Fresno went down. Seth Moses picked up the red card 25-30 minutes in, something like that, and it's one of the more professional performances I've seen tactically by a team that's gone down to 10 men, found a way over the better portion of 70-75 minutes to lock things up and get out of here with a point. Not many have been able to escape the Valley with something to go home with, and Fresno one of the few. Of course, that was well early on in the season, April 6th, a talking point where fans were unhappy. They started 1-0-4. It's a far cry from where we're at now.
And all the while, Rick Schantz just kept preaching process, process. Give it time, let the players gel. Of course, they brought in some new personnel at the start of the 2019 campaign as part of that Didier Drogba cell, if you will. And boy, have they clicked in a way that we have never seen before. Not only in the USL Championship level, but in all of American professional soccer, MLS included. Fiddes. Hernandez. Restart coming. And here comes Los Dos. Fiddes. Wide. Now an opportunity for Zubak in the 18. Has a go. Right place, right time, as usual. So this Phoenix back line. Out for a throw. And now Joey Farrell will come into the match for Phoenix Rising.
Cause for concern here for Rising as well. 67th minute. I don't mind rotation on the back line, but if Dumbuya's coming off, Joey Farrell, who, if you're just joining us, is always the center back, now getting pushed in. The rotation on the back line, I haven't seen, nor has anyone yet, Corey Whelan play in the marking back position. You wonder whether it will be Corey or Joey Farrell to the outside back position, but not a lot of options for Rick Schantz off the bench in terms of the defensive shape. Kyle Bjornathan, but he's a left-sided player, has to keep him there. So a new look for this back four, as it looks like it will be Corey Whelan rotating out. Joey Farrell will go play alongside A.J. Cochran.
Doumbouya off to the bench after making his 22nd start here in 2019. And what a cool story he has been for this Phoenix side. Wow. Interesting. You hear the roars from the crowd. It was Harvey who went down.
Don't agree with this one. Not at all. Not at all. Sorry. I'll be the first one to say when someone's getting bridged, but Adam John just stands his ground. Carlos Harvey, you can see the momentum going the other direction, and I think the referee has made some really interesting decisions this evening.
Just to finish that thought about Doumbouya, his first season playing in the United States. Spent the majority of his career in the UK, most recently in the Scottish ranks, and coming to Phoenix, Rick Schantz was curious how he would fit in with the system of this very aggressive attack-first style, given the fact that Doumbouya has always been a defend-first type of player on the back line, but he's really enjoyed playing in this open style. He's had fun, and he's seen a real energy and a real zeal for this style of play from Doumbouya this season.
Doesn't hurt when you're going forward that your overlapping runs are combining with Solomon Asante, right?
Not bad. Certainly takes the heat off you a little bit. Schultz making a run on the wing. Where's the ball through? Zubac playing it back for Hilliard Arce. And he wanted a run that time from Schultz, wouldn't get it. Second-year player out of Akron. "70 minutes gone from Phoenix. All rising all night. Solomon Asante got the scoring started in the 10th minute on a PK, and then it was Junior Flemings bagging 2 after that. Now then, the Galaxy ball across, too much behind it from Zubac, and it goes out to Phoenix.
And the way results are playing themselves out right now, don't call it a comeback. Las Vegas Lights, 2 goals at Cashman Field, have now put themselves out in front of the Foxes. If the results do hold, Phoenix will push their lead to 21 points atop the Western Conference.
Unbelievable.
Interestingly enough, though, Orange County, they're on a hot streak. They've now reeled off 5 victories in a row after losing on the road to Tacoma Defiance. They've made their way into that final home playoff spot, sitting in 4th.
Who out of the West do you think could really challenge for a spot in the Western Conference final?
The squad we just talked about, aforementioned Orange County. And here's the thing is, anybody that you bring this up to in Phoenix, they're going to disagree, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I don't
You don't mind coming with the hot takes.
No, little confrontation's fine. The gap isn't close right now. It's more momentum at this point in time in the year, and you can understand that, where you want to hit the ground running coming into the playoffs. Orange County's starting to do that. Fresno is not. They started to drop some points here and there. Reno finally got back to their winning ways. They had dropped 4 in a row. I mean, you just take a look at what's going on in the Western Conference. Sacramento has dropped 2 in the last 5. Real Monarchs, same thing. Every single team outside of Los Dos has pretty much lost 2 games or more, and that's just not a good look when you're coming playoff time where it's just single elimination. That's why I like really what Orange County has done, and it's a very different team that beat Phoenix Rising. One of the only two teams to do that this year outside of Austin Bold. It's a very different team than what you saw earlier this season, but it's a healthy team. That's the biggest thing. They now have Christian Duke back. Aiden Quinn is fully healthy. It's a lot of guys that finally have a chance to put not just a starting 11 on the field, but depth. And you don't see that a lot in the USL Championship, yet alone in the Western Conference.
And then out of the East, which I think is a really interesting conference right now, because you've got St. Louis FC really making a push towards the postseason right now. Of course, they made their first postseason appearance in club history in 2018 as we have a Los Dos player down. And Araguin has blown the whistle. I believe that is Carlos Harvey. And they have called for the training staff to come on. Certainly hope he's able to get up under his own power. But in continuing our conversation about the East, you've got St. Louis now in the 9 spot, but really charging, having won 4 of its last 4 games. Or 4 straight.
Well done.
Indy 11 is also another team who I know you are a big fan of out of the Eastern Conference, currently second right now behind New York Red Bulls 2.
Book it. All the way to the bank. Final.
Really?
Eastern Conference final.
Right, okay.
So I actually picked them to win the East. Picked them earlier this season.
Is this on the record?
This is on the record. It's documented.
So we can check the records?
You want to check tape? And I still... A lot of people disagree with me in the East, and that's fine. Louisville City scares me. And you and I had the opportunity. We saw them earlier today. They aren't playing the best I've seen them, but it's that belief.
They just find a way to get a result.
Yeah, and the biggest issue for them is going to be, can they do it on the road? This is a team that won double digits last year. It's really difficult to go to Slugger, and I'm not just talking about the venue itself and how good their culture is that they've created there. That's a difficult field to play on. But now you got to go on the road. If they don't secure a top 4, what does that look like when you have to play 2 games on the road? What if you got to play the play-in game and all 3 on the road? Now you're at a whole nother story. If you play 3 games on the road, they very well could. They may end up having to, let's just play this out. Phoenix runs the table, wins the West. They end up hosting the final. You play all 4 games on the road. You got to win 4 in a row.
That's tough.
They haven't done that all season long, and you'd have to really go into the record books to the last time they did it in general.
Louisville, though, has not lost in its last 7 matches. You have to go all the way back to July 28th as Adam John comes off. Ben Spencer enters. Adrian Vera, by the way, checking in for Carlos Harvey on the Los Dos side. Lou City, as we talked about in their match earlier tonight against Hartford, which ended in a 1-0 win for LCFC, has only lost 4 games in the final 3 months of the season over the last 4 years. So 4 years combined over the final 3 months, 1 loss per year on average. Truly remarkable. And it hasn't always been the same guys, as that one finds the back of the net, and the Galaxy have finally found themselves on the scoreboard.
There's a little life in the youngsters yet. 15 minutes to go. They get within 2. Kai Koreniuk on the outside. Whips this ball in. Looked like it actually took a deflection off the back line to push itself past Zach Lubin. You get a much better look here as this ball has a strike by Koreniuk. That is a run coming back over by A.J. Cochran that just sneaks it inside Zach Lubin.
And now on the other side, Vassal, Asante. Not 10 seconds later, and a response. But you like to see this from Los Dos in the 76th minute. And it is officially an own goal on A.J. Cochran off the deflection. Could we see a couple of more from LA Galaxy? Asante is away. Beautiful block. Open net. And substitute Ben Spencer.
You can see what it means to him, too. Look at all the guys rallying around Ben Spencer, a guy who's really struggled to find any form because you have Adam John sitting in front of you. Out in front of him, running with lots of space. Well done reading this. Watch as this comes off the deflection. First touch escapes him, but back across the body, leaves his feet. Volley upper 90 off that left foot of his. Only the second time this year, a guy who's gone back and forth between FC Tucson, Phoenix Rising. But Rick Sean's telling us that the pecking order in that number 9 position up top, yes, Adam John is always going to be the number 1, but the number 2 is most assuredly Ben Spencer. As in training, he is quite regularly showing off the skills that had not necessarily made its way to gameplay. That gives you an idea of what that young man is capable of.
Well, Junior Gonzalez speaking with our 4th official, and now with Alijo. It appears that something was thrown out of the stands and hit Eric Lopez in the face. Certainly don't like to see that.
You don't want to speculate. You did see some of the personnel from the stadium come over, and they had a bottle in his hand, a bottle or a can, and now a conversation with Junior Gonzalez and Rick Shantz at half field, not happy with what went on. Obviously, the referees are going to talk things over. Rick Shantz asking what happened. He's not sure what's going on. Eric Lopez being tended to, and immediately Rick Shantz asking him for them to look into it. He's not going to have what took place behind that south goal.
And we are getting word in our ear that it was a beer can that came flying out of the stands. Well, there's no excuse for that.
Not a good look for the supporter section, and with 10 minutes to go, Eric Lopez back on the ground again. National team player for the U17s and U18s, continuing to showcase himself at the global level, hoping that one day maybe he'll get the call up to the senior squad.
Just 20 years old, too.
He's going to have words with Zach Steffen on that one, and right now he's just worried about getting himself back to health and helping his team out in the final moments of this match. We talked about Phoenix Rising and what they have to endure over the next few weeks. How about Los Dos? This great run that they've been on, 5-1-1 in their last 7 games. They'll now travel back home to take on other teams that are vying for that playoff picture. San Antonio FC on September 20th. Steve Cook and OKC Energy FC will come to do battle the week following. And a midweek matchup versus Sacramento Republic. 3 really tough games there. They'll actually close their season off at home against El Paso Locomotive, who are trying to work their way back into the top 10.
Junior Gonzalez regrouping his side. Surely there will be plenty of stoppage time after this. What an opportunity to grow in these final 10 minutes. See Junior Gonzalez intent on using this time to deliver a message to his young group as this all gets sorted out by the officiating staff.
A similar situation took place earlier this year. Portland Timbers 2, New Mexico United were doing battle in a heavily contested game. That ended up a 3-3 draw. And after Eric Williamson scored a penalty, the supporter section, the Curse from New Mexico United, were throwing beer and water at all of the players that were celebrating. Now, of course, that was the opposition in front of the home crowd, but not a good look and not something that should be reverberated throughout the supporter section whatsoever. You want positive things to come out even when it's a heavily contested game. What was really cool about that was Cody Mizell, the goalkeeper to Mexico United, actually walked over and told his own supporter section, I'm not having that. This is not okay.
They are telling the players that they have to leave the pitch for 5 minutes due to safety concerns. And boy, this is a situation that is starting to get out of hand with players and fans now engaging. And it appears that someone has been hit again now, perhaps, from the LA Galaxy sideline. And I believe that's Augustine Williams. This is just unacceptable, and you know that the front office at Phoenix, of course, takes complete and total exception to this.
And you can see some pointing at who were the culprits down in front. And to give you an idea, Phoenix Rising FC players have come over as well. Joey Farrell, AJ Cochran, and they are not having it either.
And the players are exiting the pitch. Zach Lubin, the keeper for Phoenix Rising, not happy with the situation either. Of course, there are only 10 minutes left in regulation in this match.
And most importantly right now, you just want everybody to hit the reset button. Let's calm the tensions. That conversation between Junior Gonzalez and Rick Shantz wasn't a bad one. It was, hey, listen, this is what's going on. We got to take care of our guys. And both teams are going to leave right now. Everybody being ushered off. There's Brennan Hodge, trainer for Phoenix Rising. Blair Gavin, the assistant coach. Some of the other substitutes, Dabuya, who's already been subbed off. There's Jason Johnson. He's finally made his way back in, and you see the clock still running. That'll probably make its way back to, well, not make its way back, but add at least 5 minutes of stoppage time. We hit this issue right around the 79th, 80th minute when the brilliant piece of striking ability of Ben Spencer was called to arms just inside the 18. Beautiful finish, left-footed volley, upper corner. Got it back to 4-1 in that 3-goal lead.
And you can see on the far side of your screen the fans that are exiting the stadium right now. When these players come back out, there will be half, maybe even less, in the stands than that were there to start the game. It's a shame that this is how it's ended. Of course, Phoenix and their staff has taken great pains to make this one of the premier organizations in USL Championship. And in no way do they condone the actions of the few in the fan sections tonight. No update as of yet from the field. But over the PA, you can hear them saying that the players will return to the field shortly. Now, what does shortly mean? We cannot say for sure, but we do hope that it's within the next few minutes.
Coming from a PA announcer, we got to be careful. I don't trust those guys. I'm not really sure. Just kidding.
Careful, Devin.
Yeah, just throwing stones in the glass house right now, having a little fun. Gonna up the spirits a little bit based upon the way things have played out past 6-7 minutes. You know, my question is if it's a bad idea to throw something in general, yet alone, are you really going to waste the last remnants, even if it's a tiny sip of your beer?
That's
You're
spoken like a true beer connoisseur.
Right? I mean, you got to finish every last drop, and even if there's a can crush, there's something in there. I'm not willing to throw that on the field. I'm not willing to throw anything on the field, yet alone a beer can. Maybe throw you on the field, though. We talked. I'd have a little trouble.
I don't know if you're strong enough for that.
I can honestly say I'm not. You know?
Phoenix Rising should, barring something unforeseen, pick up their 20th consecutive win. And let's take a look at how we got here. It's been a historic night. Of course, that's just the way the season is going.
On the season in just his 12th appearance. Not a bad little average for the man who doesn't necessarily get a lot of looks up top. But again, as we mentioned, Rick Schantz always telling us that no lack of confidence for their striker.
Well, the club tweeting out, play has been suspended for player safety. We do not condone fans throwing things onto the pitch. That goes without saying, especially a club that takes pride in being a A+ organization, run with class, run with grace and gratitude. And of course, the fans have played a large role in the success of this team in a way. They've created a really tough environment for this club and for opposing teams to play in. They have not lost, Phoenix, at home this season.
The other thing to think about if you're at home watching is exactly what can happen in situations like this, because there's going to be repercussions for this, for the individual that did cause this situation, for Eric Lopez and Lostos. Junior Gonzalez, again, his frustration didn't lie with the team itself. It was the way things were playing out in the stands. This will come back around, and somebody's getting themselves into trouble where you won't be able to experience such a great environment like Casino Arizona Field.
Well, it is officially called the final of this match, 4-1 Phoenix. Hate to see it end like that. Phoenix, though, does improve its win streak to 20 consecutive matches, and that is something that should be applauded.
They set the single season goal record as well. 73 coming in. Help me out here.
Yeah,
carry the one, so now they're at 77.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I
appreciate
did.
it.
Mathematician.
Remember that Solomon Asante bagged another one. He puts himself at 22. 3 more to tie Cameron Lancaster. Also added an assist, by the way. He is now within 1 of the single season record. Manu Ledesma set that back in 2018, and you know, a couple other things to head their way, but guess we're going to get an opportunity. We'll step aside here, and then we'll come back and have a little bit more fun before we say adieu for the evening.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Back one final time from Casino Arizona Field in Phoenix. The Rising take down LA Galaxy 4-1. The match was called due to player safety in the 75th or 6th minute.
A little further.
Maybe 85th or 6th minute.
I'll give you credit there.
Yeah, okay. Regardless, Phoenix extends its win streak to 20 consecutive games. This is a club that has only lost twice this year, and you got to go back a long ways to find that last L on the sheet, or draw for that matter. Here's a look at their upcoming schedule. Boy, it's a tough gauntlet down the stretch to close out the month of September. 3 straight games on the road. They finish with Portland Timbers 2.
Fresno, by the way, will officially be coming off a loss. Las Vegas Lights have gone up to 3-1. They are in extra time. That will most assuredly end in a victory for the Lights, who remain within the talking point of that bottom 10 playoff spot in the Western Conference. Fresno will look to get back on track. They will have to do it against this team that just seems to find a way to win no matter what. New Mexico United, they're up 1-0. We'll see how that turns out. Portland Timbers 2, Real Monarchs, Energy FC, all teams that can do some serious damage. But you just wonder, how long will this go on for Phoenix Rising FC? As we told you about 3 weeks ago, Rick Shantz told us we never want to lose a game ever again.
Well, certainly a loss will come, but will it come in 2019? That remains to be seen. They have 2 wins left to take down FC Cincinnati's USL single season record, which was 23 set just a year ago before moving to the MLS this season. The Mobile Mini Man of the Match, well, that goes to Junior Flemings, who bagged 2 goals tonight, making it 13 on the season. It's a career high for the Jamaican national team player.
It's just not even fair. And let's do a little addition here. Help me out. So Junior Flemings bags 2. He's now at 13. Solomon Asante gets himself to 22. Yeah, we did that math right. That's 35 goals between the two. Throw Adam John in there. That's 50 between 3 players. They have more than most teams in the USL Championship.
Just a ridiculous trio up top. And, you know, when we get into the postseason and you have to come to the home of the Red Fury, to the home of the Phoenix Rising, and you take on that trio up top, plus the back line, which has posted 14 shutouts this season. Boy, it's a tall order. Who will be up to the task? That remains to be seen. What has been seen tonight, the record continues. This historic run for Phoenix Rising goes on. Their 20th consecutive win. For Devin Kerr, I'm Matt Schumacher saying so long from the desert. Phoenix Rising 4, LA Galaxy 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.